Welcome back to The Script with Shellz, the #1 League of Legends interview series on the internet. Hosted by me, I'm Shellz, and today I have the absolute honor of being joined by Daption, the support player from, or previously for Wildcard Red. Daption, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. I'm excited for this interview, so yeah.
Look, man, you have nothing to fear. This is, like I told Kyle the other day, this is probably going to be the best time you have in the next couple of weeks, maybe the next couple of years of your life. I'm telling you, it's going to be a fun time. And you have some really exciting things coming up. I'm sure as people who are watching this already know, you, in your first year, and correct me if I'm wrong, your first year playing competitive, have been invited to Scouting Grounds. Talk to me about that.
Well, it's kind of a really long story, but it all started last year. Yeah. I'll take my time. So it all started last year when I got invited to this, combine by Wildcard, and they were looking to form their new Wildcard team and try to take it to PG with the new format coming in. And they had a little bit of insight on what was going to happen for PG and Proving Grounds.
Mm-hmm.
And so they really wanted to build a good developmental team that could actually reach the Proving Grounds tournament. And that's pretty much what we did. We definitely had our ups and downs. On the first spring split of Wildcard, we got into PG, and then we lost in our first 2 rounds to academy teams, which is kind of sad, but shit happens. Also, am I allowed to swear? I
Bro, you can say whatever you want. This is one of those kind of shows. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because I got reprimanded for swearing on the LCS stream.
Wait, before you continue with the story, what did they say to you when you did say that on the LCS stream?
Oh, they didn't even... Okay, it was really weird, right? Because right after I did it, I did the interview. All my teammates and staff were like, "Dude, you fucked up." I was like, "Oh my god, what did I do?" And they're like, "You swore." I'm like, "Oh shit, I didn't realize I wasn't supposed to swear." Basically, they're like, "Nothing's gonna happen to you. Maybe they'll give you a warning or something." They ended up never giving me a warning. I guess a little stern talking from staff was good enough. So, I mean, I'll take it. With every team, they have their own secrets. And for us, the secret that was going to happen, that was going to come true, I guess, was that Arrow was going to be joining us on Wildcard, and that they wanted to support him and grow with him during the split. And I was like, holy shit. I was the starting support for Wildcard on the last split. So I'm really looking forward to trying and getting that spot next to Arrow. I honestly didn't know where I would be going into during the summer split, because it was we had a combine / tryout / things were going really fast, because basically I wasn't even guaranteed a spot on one of the teams, and then I had to talk to management. And they're like, "Don't worry, Daption, you're completely fine. You'll actually get a spot on one of the teams because we like you so much from last split." And so, that really relieved me. And so we go into the combine, and then a few days after, I find out that I'm gonna be on Wildcard Red with Arrow, Winston, and Bradley, which is really fucking cool. Because holy fuck,
right?
That roster was stacked, so fucking stacked, and it went so fast that I'm looking back on it, I'm like, holy shit, I kind of want to go back and re-experience everything we went through. And then, my god, summer split was probably the hardest split, because it was such a huge learning curve. Playing with an LCK player,
right?
LCS MVP, Arrow, it's so fucking
How much pressure was on you? How much pressure do you think was on yourself? How much did you put on yourself when you saw, wait, I'm landing with Arrow, and we have all these other guys who are either proven or Giga Smurfs on the squad, and it's me in my second split playing competitive. Arrow's here for a reason. Let me know what your mindset was like.
I mean, honestly, at first it was really like hard, I think, because I would always want to learn from Arrow, and I would like put a lot of blame on myself for like making mistakes or like not understanding certain concepts. But I mean, honestly, Arrow just did such a great job of like holding it sounds really stupid, right? But like he did a really good job of like holding my hand through the entire thing and like, you know, helping me through all of the problems and like teaching me the good things, when to do things, when to like be aggressive, when not to be aggressive, blah blah blah. Like so many things that if I had to like say off the top of my head, I'd probably be going on for like 2 hours. So let's
Uh-huh.
not do that. Just like Arrow's personality, he's very like laid back. He'll never like be angry at you, and he takes things like very professionally. It's kind of crazy because I didn't really expect that. I didn't know what to expect, obviously, with Arrow coming into NA and playing amateur with us, because like I mean, what can you expect? You know,
Right.
he's really good at the game, and he's coming to play with like amateur players from NA, you know? And then it's just like a completely different story when you get to know him, you know?
Hmm.
And he's actually really shy as a person, which is really funny because I also am shy as a person, like at first.
Tell me your secret.
A lot of the players had their ways of wanting to win the game. For example, like Winston would want to get it through like camp leads.
Hmm.
Bradley would want to get it through playing through mid and, you know, getting himself an advantage. Eric would want to play through just like good macro decisions, pushing his lead in lane. Like, there's like so many things
Right.
that like it was very like overwhelming to like get in all of these ideas that I hadn't gone the split before, you know,
Right.
because there was, you know, there was Winston who, you know, he had academy experience, and then Dokla,
Right.
who actually ended up being replaced by Randini later on. He also had LCS experience, so like, what the fuck, you know?
Right.
And these players are like playing an amateur, so like you don't know how to feel because, you know, it feels like they shouldn't be there, but they're just like such great like leaders that it just like it makes it so easy for you to like learn and become better, like a better player over time.
So
And that's something I really appreciate. They did their best to like facilitate me and Bradley learning, because Bradley also would be considered like rookie. This was actually his first like real split playing on a team, I would say. And I knew that coming into the split, and I'd known Bradley from before, so it was actually comforting to like have him on the team, because you know, I wasn't the only rookie, and we'd be learning together. Um, he is very fucking good. I'm gonna say that.
mhm. Yeah, of
Mechanically,
course.
so there was obviously less mechanical stuff for him to learn, but I'd like to say this team went a very long way, um, especially towards the end. Even though I know we ended up 5th place in Proving Grounds, the me at the beginning of the split is like so much different from the me at the end of the split, and I think I could say that about almost everyone on the team. This is what I want. League of Legends is what I want. I don't want to be like playing League now and then not giving it my all, and then like 5 months later I'm like, oh shit, what if I gave it my all? You know, that's not how that works.
Mhm.
So I definitely missed out on some like hangouts. I definitely missed out on some like time with my friends, but in the end, I think they understand that that was my goal, and they're happy for me to like, you know, chase my dreams. And if I end up, you know, catching up to my dreams, I think that's what would make them happiest, and that's what would make me happiest, you know, because, you know, this is what I set out to do. I didn't set out to just play League for fun. I just set out to, you know, become the best of the best, and I think that's what, you know, League of Legends really is about as a gamer.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're competitive, you want to be the best. If you're competitive, you want to be in those conversations where people say, "Who's the best?" Oh, that's Daption right there. That's the guy we want to see. What are you talking about? There's no question to be asked here. And you're gonna be going up against some of the best from solo queue. A lot of these guys you played in Proving Grounds as well. At Scouting Grounds coming up, and you've been. I think we talked a little bit a few days ago about academy tryouts going on I think they started in this Monday, and they're going on, I think, throughout this week and whatnot. I think some teams have already locked in their rosters. I think some teams have their rosters locked in before their tryouts. But
Yeah.
but without giving too much specifics, can you give me like a little glimpse at what an academy tryout's like? Don't say any names of teams or anything, but like what's the dynamic? Who's talking to you? What voices are in your ear? Is there like any like shit talk from other players while you're at academy tryouts, or like what's going on at an academy tryouts? I have no idea.
Well, obviously at like any tryout, there's always going to be like, the top, the middle, and then the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know where I stand in the tryouts, and I think that's the point of the tryouts. It's to gauge where you would be on a team, and I think my mentality going forward is just like, even if I fuck up, even if I make a mistake, I'll be there to like rectify that mistake and like be able to like move forward from it. And I am learning a lot of things in these tryouts in regards to like the staff like talking to me about stuff that I did wrong, or some things that I did good, or some things that I could do better. And all this information is really good, but obviously there are going to be players that are just like lower than the average, and they're going to be the ones that are going to be pushed aside first.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just working to not be that one that gets pushed aside first, like that's the point. And I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, I'm the best of the best, because I'm really not. I literally had a tryout yesterday and I was like completely griefing it. I reviewed it with some LCS player, and wow, like that showed me a perspective that I'd never seen. But there is shit talk. There is, that fake persona of like being polite to people just because, you have to be polite.
Yeah.
Obviously people are going to act a certain way. They're going to code switch, and
man, let me tell you.
Sometimes you gotta deal with players that, you played with in solo queue that like trash talk to you. And I had to deal with that too, literally yesterday, where I had some player come up to me in solo queue, or not come up to me literally, but he messaged me after a game telling me that I was just constantly getting boosted by my teammates in PG last split, and that I would never, do anything on the team, and I was just bad. And, obviously that sucks to hear. And then playing with that player and seeing how they play, it just really shows me that, when people shit talk, like, it's not meant to be taken personally. But if you don't want to end up hanging out with that person or like being nice to that person, that's your fucking choice. I'm not going to stop you. And sometimes, you got to be a certain type of way with players, just to be like respectful and give yourself the best shot at, for example, getting like an academy spot. And I think the most smart people are the ones that, shoot for the top, and no matter like what happens in a tryout, they still try to like be nice and understand that, people have their off days.
Mm-hmm.
Shit happens, like it's solo queue. Solo queue happens. People are mean. People say terrible things. People get banned, and you're just sitting here wanting to like make games a dream for yourself. So, you got to go through a lot of loopholes to get there. But I still hope I get there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answered your question, but
no, you did. You did. And I'm glad you didn't.
Okay.
I'm glad you made sure to not mention any names of players and teams and whatnot. And you mentioned something before, early on in your answer about reviewing and rectifying mistakes. I know you were on the PG pod a long ass time ago, like way back, early when it first started, basically. And one of the questions they asked you was about your thoughts on whether or not you guys thought you could make it, I think, into Proving Grounds at the time. I don't think you were qualified just yet. And one of your answers was that you mentioned that you had some problems with motivation and how sometimes misplays can affect your gameplay a bit. Has that something that that's gone out of your system throughout, spring and summer split? And if it has, what do you see now as your biggest point of what you want to work on? What's the biggest part of your game you want to improve?
Wow, that was a fucking really good question. I was thinking about it because it came up in my games yesterday. I think it's just staying like clear-minded, and sometimes in games it's gonna like someone's gonna have to eat ass.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, like they're just gonna have to like end up like losing like 3 waves.
Got you. Okay, okay.
If that has to be like 80 carry bot lane mid, like shit happens, and everyone's there at the end of the game, whether you see a victory screen or not. Obviously people are going to be more happy if you get the victory screen, and some people might be less happy than others, but at the end of the day you're still happy if you see a victory screen.
Right.
So my point here is like I need to stay as level-headed as possible, no matter how like crowded comms get or no matter how emotional people get. I need to be on that like nirvana level of like mental to not get affected by, for example, like top lane like missing 3 waves and being really sad, because my immediate reaction as a person is to like try to help them, but sometimes that's not what you're supposed to do. Sometimes you gotta trade the map. I think that's just like a more emotional side of me, and I think I need to dial it back a little bit, because especially in these tryouts I didn't know any of the players that well. I hadn't really played with them, so I didn't know how to react to them being like sad about a play or them being like happy about a play. If someone's happy, you just smile with, but you have to understand that somewhere else in the game someone's going to be sad, and I think not getting affected by others is definitely going to help me make the right decisions at the right time. That goes into the motivation aspect. I think I would get upset a lot at plays going very badly, because losing is demotivating. Like you lose so much when you make so many mistakes. You feel like you're the problem, you're the one who's making the game harder, but in reality I feel like League of Legends is just a game of like not fucking up. The team who doesn't fuck up, who fucks up the least ends up winning, because nobody plays perfect. We saw that in like what's it called, Worlds. People ended up picking like Yumi and stuff because some teams didn't know how to dive it, and they just scaled to oblivion and ended up winning their games. So
electrocute Nami a lot of the times.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, absolutely. There's just a lot of ways to play the game.
I kind of lost my train of thought, but
going through like a lot of like scrims, and we were like losing a lot of scrims because of my like mistakes with like, for example, linking up with jungler. And I think that's where that comment came from, not from an actual place of like I didn't want to play League and I wasn't motivated to play League anymore.
Got you.
I didn't think we were gonna make it to Proving Grounds. It was just like the mindset at the moment, and I think controlling that and like moving forward and like being level-headed is just the best way for me to get better. So I'll try my best to do that.
Hey, I can appreciate answers like that, man, and I think being able to identify your weak points and consciously work on them are the two hardest parts of actually improving. And you seem like you've gotten those two parts down, and I definitely want to see how you improve, hopefully at the academy level. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit disappointed that Scouting Grounds is gonna be so thin on content. Obviously no draft is good for players, I think. Bad for content. My job is content, but it's all good. I think no draft works for players. But the only two games being shown is the last day, so the third place match and the finals. After going through, what is it? Is it a single round robin or a double round robin?
I have no idea.
I don't remember. I read it, but I don't remember what it was. But I think it's a little bit thin. But I think someone like you working through those things can definitely make an impact there. Look, I've had you here for a long time, so I want to get your thoughts on two more things. And if this was a long form, like hour, 90-minute kind of format kind of thing, we could really go forever, because I have a lot more questions. Where does the name Daption come from?
Okay, so this is actually a really weird story, but it's actually a bird, and I ended up taking the name Daption off of the word adaptation. Okay,
Uh-huh.
I know it sounds weird. It's just I thought of like ways to like shorten words and then add, maybe add a word at the end of a word, try to like make something up. Because I had seen names like Skara and I was like, how the fuck?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I just thought like I didn't want to be like a generic old like dog cat 44. It wasn't gonna sound good. I want it to be like smooth and it just like
Do you know
went
where Scar
through.
got his name from?
I have no idea where he got his name from.
His name, he did the same thing you did, I think, in reverse. His name used to be Scarred for Life, and then he wanted to shorten it, and he made it Scara.
Wow. I just wanted to like, oh my god, I went through so many fucking names. It's so crazy.
Give me a couple.
Before there were I don't even remember. One of them was like Flood, and one of them was like Melodus. One of them was like a combination of my last name with some like random, I don't even know. But I ended up getting this name because I think the best way to play League is to adapt.
Yeah.
And I cut off the A at the beginning of adapt, and then I searched up words that have dapped in it, and I ended up getting Daption. So that's basically the history of my word. I didn't actually choose the name because it was a bird. I ended up choosing it because of the word adaptation, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
That was a roller coaster. But just one more question for you, and we're not going to get to the food thing, which I really do want to get to, but that's going to add so much more time. I want to ask about why you love onion rings. Maybe later down the road when you're in the LCS, I can get you back on here and
Yeah.
and we can follow this up with a with that question. But just give me one thing. What's the one thing in League, whether it's the game, community, the scene, whatever it is? What's one thing in League that you could rant about for hours? What's your hugest pet peeve you can just go on nonstop about?
Can I switch that to something I love from League?
Sure, go
I
for
like
it.
to be more positive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
so
for it.
I think the biggest thing that League has brought to me is, like a chance. I know it sounds really weird, but um it was just a chance for me to prove to myself that, if I put my heart to something, I can go through with it and I can fucking like go all the way and actually make something out of it. And unfortunately that didn't end up being like school like most people end
Mhm.
up doing. But I think reaching like diamond at the age of like 14 was pretty big for me cuz I mean, I never expected something like, ending up playing in Proving Grounds and like maybe going to academy next, but I never expected something that like you don't think well, at least I didn't think, I want to become a pro player. I just thought like this is a game. I have fun playing it, I'm going to play some ranked.
Right.
And it's so crazy how something so small can turn into like an actual job. And I think this is the one thing that I would want teams to see is that League is an opportunity and it's a way to like better your life, not only in like League concepts and like things that you learn from playing the game, but it gives you a chance to like live your life in such a more positive like light where you can make a social media brand off of it. You can make yourself go pro off of it. You can even end up going through like darker avenues. I'm not gonna go into that, but like
Yeah, yeah.
boosting and stuff. Something like a hobby that you can like actually turn into a job and a full-time career for yourself is just something so amazing for me.
Mhm.
And I completely love that League has that for us. And I think Academy would be the best way to show people that I'm not full of shit and that um I'd also like to like build my own brand with going on an academy team. I don't want to be like, you know, I don't know, like CLG Katsuri, like does anyone know who he is? Maybe not right now, but imagine if like during the split he had like been consistently streaming, making tweets all the time. I think that's like a really wasted opportunity, because you could be making so much out of this opportunity, and you could be making a living off of it, and being happy that you have followers and friends that support you. But players who go through that entire cycle and don't want to choose that, it's kind of sad for me, because I
Man,
want to make that like impact. I want to be that next double lift. I don't want to be sitting here playing League with myself, by myself, playing on a team. It doesn't matter to me. I want to be playing on a team, like on the big stages, and like showing people that I'm the best, and people are there to like watch me play. And that's just my like ultimate dream for League.
for all the academy coaches that I have clout with, literally, I mean, there's not very many of them. I think I only know 2 or 3 academy coaches. But look, hey, look. I know he said he grieved his tryout yesterday. That wasn't the Daption that I know and love. That wasn't him. Give him a shot. Give my boy Daption a shot. He can make things happen. Okay, guys. Matter of fact, my boy Parth, what's up, man? Give my boy Daption one quick little shot one time. But Daption, it's been really fun having you on the show, man. Before we get you out of here, if you have anything you want to shout out, anything you want to promote, anything you want to say, floor is yours. Go at it.
So I kind of messed up, because I'm supposed to have like a whole list of people that I'm going to shout out. But I don't have them. So, some of my friends might get angry at me for not shouting them specifically out, but thank you to all my friends.
Y'all know who you are.
Yeah, y'all. Yeah, exactly. You guys are there for me all the time. Sometimes when I need it, sometimes when I don't. I just appreciate the time that we have together, and looking forward to more of that. So thank you to everyone who came to watch this. Yeah.
And there you have it. Daption thanking all of his nameless friends. Let me stop. No. But thank you to everyone who's watching this episode. Thank you to all of everyone in Daption's life, helping him get to the level he's at right now, and the level that I think he can definitely achieve in the immediate and the long-term future. This has been the Script with Shellz, the #1 League of Legends interview series on the internet, hosted by me. I've been Shellz. This is Daption over to my this side. And until next time, y'all,